A blessed afternoon to each and everyone. So, this is another topic for professional development. And for today, we're going to talk about the functions of theories in school administration. So, let's talk about formal models. When we talk about the formal model, this is used because this theory emphasizes the official and structural elements of organization. So when we talk about a formal model, this is an umbrella term that is used to embrace a number of similar but not identical approaches. It comprises of a system of elements and it has a clear organizational links with each other. What are their common features? Number one, they tend to treat organization as system. Number two, formal models give prominence to the official structure of the organization. And in formal models, the official structures of the organization tend to be hierarchical. So, formal models compromises of a system of structures. It also has typifies schools and colleges as goal-seeking. It assumes managerial decisions that are made through a rational process. A formal approaches present the authority of leaders as essentially a product of their official positions within the organization, and there is an emphasis on the accountability of the organization to its sponsoring body. Whatever happens to the organization, every member has the sole responsibility. Thus, let's talk about some of the structural models. What are this one? We also have the system models. We also have another type of models, which is the hierarchical models. And we also have the bureaucratic models and rational model. Let's talk about structural models. This refers to the formal pattern of relationship between people or organization. This will going to express the ways in which individuals relate to each other in order to achieve one organizational objective, according to Bush in 1997. This includes first the central level. This is the various monitoring of national and local authorities who are between them charged with overall planning, resource allocation, and monitoring of standards. The central level in the Department of Education is the DepEd Central. For the institutional, it is defined in law and conventional. This includes all schools and colleges. For example, our institution is Quezon City High School. The basic unit that corresponds with departments or faculties in colleges and departments and pastoral units in school. We have, like for instance, TLE department, English department. And we also have individual level. These are the teachers, students, support staff, and it focuses mainly on teachers because it is they who normally play the main role in shaping academic and curricular policy. We also have the system models. These models stress the unity and coherence of organization. It emphasizes the unity and integrity of the organization and focus on the interaction between its component parts and with external environment. System theories are usually categorized as either closed or open in terms of the organization's relationship with its environment. We also have the bureaucratic models. The pure version of the bureaucratic model is associated strongly with the work of Weber, who argued that formal organizations, bureaucracy is the most efficient form of management. So it also stressed the importance of hierarchical authority structure with formal change of command between the different positions in the hierarchy level. It's the most important of all the formal models, the bureaucratic models, because it emphasized the goal of orientation of the organization wherein the decision making is governed by rules and regulations rather than personal initiative. It also suggests a division of labor with staff specializing in a particular task based on expertise. The recruitment and career progress staff are determined on merit as well. Next, the rational model. This is the process of rational model. The perception of a problem or choice of opportunity, then analysis of the problem including data collection should be done. Formulation of alternative solution or choices takes place. Then the choice of the most appropriate solution should be used to meet the objectives, and after which implementation of the chosen alternative and the monitoring and evaluation of the effectiveness of the chosen strategy. In rational approaches, it differs from other formal models in that they emphasize managerial processes rather than the organizational structure or goals. Hierarchical models, it emphasizes with particular reference to the authority and responsibility of the managers at the apex of the structure. It emphasizes vertical communication patterns. It stresses as well the vertical relationship within an organization and accountability of leaders to external sponsors. A horizontal communication plays a big part in the coordination rather than the management. Central to the hierarchical models is the concept of accountability. In formal models, we have to ensure that the goals should be emphasized, environment must be considered, and the leadership plays an integral role in the model. Managerial leadership. It assumes that the focus of leaders ought to be on functions, tasks, and behaviors, and if these functions are not carried out competently, the work of others in the organization will be facilitated. The output control selection socialization in the non-hierarchical environments. So here, according to Mears and Murphy, the functions of managerial of a school principal include supervision, input controls, behavior controls, output control, wherein the supervision, input, and behavior must be hierarchical and the output is a non-hierarchical. According to Caldwell, managers and leaders of self-managing schools must be able to develop and implement a cyclical process involving 7 managerial functions. First, we have to have a needs identification, taking a look of the budget, implementation, goal setting, priority setting, a brief and comprehensive plan, and of course, the evaluation. Collegial model. This includes all those theories which emphasize that power and decision making should be shared among some or all members of the organization who are thought to have a shared understanding about the aims of the institution. It is a strongly normative in orientation. It particularly appropriate for schools and colleges that have significant numbers of professional staff, and the teachers are the one who possess authority when it comes to arising directly from their knowledge and skills. They have the authority at their expertise, and they assume a common set of values held by the members of organization. When it comes to decision making, it is an important element in collegial management. And the collegial models assume that decisions are reached by consensus rather than an individual. What are its goals? They provide a general guide to an activity and a source of legitimacy, and it's a means of measuring success. Last one is the structure. Its structure is an objective fact which has a clear meaning for all members of the institution. So when you talk about leaders, it must first among equals in an academic organization supposedly run by professional experts, and it is characterized by decision making as a participative process with all members of the institution having an equal opportunity, influence, policy, and action. Thus, the basic idea here is less command than to listen, less to lead rather than to gather expert judgment, less to manage than to facilitate, less to order rather than to persuade, meaning leader is not much as a star. And we also have the transformational leadership, which includes participative leadership, interpersonal leadership. In transformational leadership, this is about building a school vision, establishing school goals, providing intellectual stimulation, offering individualized support, modeling the best practices and values, demonstrating high performance expectations, creating a productive school culture, developing structure, foster participation in school decision. In participative, this is a participation that will increase school effectiveness, while in the interpersonal leadership, this is much of a teacher's way is taken up in the intensity of relationship. The political model in schools and other institutions often described as micropolitics because they tend to focus on group activity rather than the institution as a whole. They are concerned with the interests and interest groups, and they stress the prevalence of conflict in organization. Political models embraces those theories which characterize decision making as a bargaining process. According to Baldrige political model, we have to take note of the following questions. What are the conditions which promotes the formation of divergent values and interest group? How do this group bring pressure to bear? And how are the multiple pressure translated into official policy? Is that policy an official commitment to certain goals and values? And policy execution. So we can find this in the social context, articulation, legislative policy, and execution policy. So after which, there will be a feedback process with the generation of new political conflicts. There are significant forms of power relevant to schools and colleges. We have the positional authority of expertise, personal power, control of rewards, coercive power, and controls of sources. This 6 forms of power, according to Bowman and Deal, Handy and Morgan, has physical, developing alliance network, access of control of agendas, and control of meanings and symbol, control of boundaries, gender management, and so on. And the last one is the transactional leadership, wherein the relationship with teacher are based upon an exchange as a form of valued resource. So that's all. Don't forget to click on the like, subscribe, and the notification bell button. See you again next time. God bless everyone.